the sort of important thing here is that she got a lot of heat for hosting him on her podcast.
Yeah.
And that is where people are divided, which is so rare in 2023 for people to be divided over a social matter.
Okay. Okay. Why don't we talk through it? What are they? I feel like they do like a SMOT or like a strengths, a SWOT. What do they call it? The strengths, weaknesses.
Yes.
SWOT analysis.
Let's
SWOT analysis.
SWOT analysis.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like
it.
it.
Anything I love, it's a SWOT analysis on my weekends. Go on, Derek.
Oh yeah, no. But we can let's apply a SWOT analysis. Okay, so what are the strengths to having Nick on your show?
It's a new opinion.
It's a new opinion.
It's a new opinion. Well, no, not new historically, but new contemporarily.
A very old opinion.
Wait. You know what I mean? Yeah. As in, we don't hear much about it these days.
Correct.
They don't get a lot of airtime.
Yeah. Especially in Germany. They do not get much airtime in Germany.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Raisin Bread. With me today are Lazarus, Derek, and the wonderful Ben. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Fine.
Great. Every week, you guys. Every week. Hey, guys, how are you? Silence.
Yeah, we're really like, look, as a Brit, this is totally natural to me because this is like when you meet somebody on a train station platform and it's a bit like you just kick the ball back immediately. Somebody comes at you with a question. Like, for example, it is well known in this country that if somebody says, "Are you all right?" and they'll say, "All right," as a greeting, which sounds like it sounds like an inquiry as to asking how you are. The only acceptable response is to also say, "All right," and then you move on.
Right. And everyone lives very happily.
Yeah. Can I hear Lazarus?
And everyone just sort of there's so much said that's non-verbal in that exchange, which is like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't like you enough to actually inquire further.
Right.
And you don't, and that those feelings are reciprocated. The apathy is mutual. So let's move on.
I do want to hear Lazarus. Try that. Go for it, Lazarus.
I'm not doing it.
What do you mean you're not?
I'm not doing
it.
I'm not.
Why not?
It.
Are you scared? Are you scared
No.
Are you afraid that you'll like it too much?
I wouldn't say all right. I'd say what up. Like, is that simple?
Yeah.
What's up?
What up?
All right. I mean, it's close.
What up?
It's close. Now you just got to do an all and an I.
All? It's all right.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. No.
All right.
No.
All right.
Ben, if I come see you, bro, I'm smacking you. You coming to me? All right. What? What are you talking about? What? All right.
My favorite part in that is when you called Ben the N-word. That was delightful for me. That was very funny to me. So,
okay. Well, that
Yeah.
Because we know what happened last time.
Tell the neighbors.
Before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know, like, subscribe, comment, do the whole thing. I know it seems like it's not worth it at this point, but I assure you it is. Thanks to everybody. Spotify, and soon Rumble. We're coming to Rumble. We're working on that. And
that sounds like a dating app. Oh my god!
And that's why I hate you. So, how's everybody's week? How's everybody's week? We'll start with you, Lazarus. How's your week?
Like a white girl went to a Justin Bieber's concert.
So good, very good. I think that's good. Yeah.
I don't know if it's good.
When I was driving Uber, it was Justin Timberlake. It wasn't Justin Bieber, but they seem to be having a good time. I think it's probably the same, right?
It is.
Wait.
No. Justin Timberlake is black. He's
okay.
I don't think that's true.
Stop
we
that
consider
again.
him black. We consider
Derek,
him black.
it's like we joined on the 4th series. What, you used to drive Uber?
Yeah.
And what, did you have one of the famous Justins in your car?
No. I just took a bunch of white ladies to a Justin Timberlake concert that night.
I understand.
Because the rates were crazy. And so I was driving.
Was this back in like his ramen noodle days?
What? My ramen noodle?
No, Justin Timberlake when he had the hair as a ramen noodle or like on his head.
Oh, it was like actually, yeah, I guess it was like 5 years ago.
Okay, so he cleaned up.
No, that's like years ago. Yeah, no, that's years ago.
He cleaned up by then.
What about the rest of you? What's going on in your life, Derek? Derek always has something. He's always like, these cats, they won't stop. They won't leave my apartment. Or
I'm weird. I'm doing taxes. I haven't done taxes in 5 years. So I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do all 5 years.
How much money do you owe to the IRS?
That's the thing. If you don't make any money, they're real lax on not. They're just like, you know what? Whenever you get around to it, you seem to be struggling.
Can I
Really?
when are taxes due again, Derek?
Every year.
Oh, buddy. When are they due? Every
April
year.
18th. Tuesday.
Good
next.
job.
Yep.
We're coming in
day.
hot, Derek.
Yeah.
We're coming in hot. It's going to be a big day at the Smith household.
Yep.
Just
the last time I did taxes, I sent it in, and they owed me $1,200, and then they sent me back a letter 5 or 6 months later saying this is too late and we're not going to give you the $1,200 back. And I was like, fair, super fair. It was 4 years late.
woof.
So you have 4 years to get a refund. Otherwise, they keep it. Yeah.
I did not know that.
I know.
Because
they keep so much of people's refund money because they don't even know that they could get one.
Yeah, that's also true.
How are they 30 trillion in debt?
We are in debt to ourselves by selling government bonds.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they take a lot of money, as you've just pointed out.
Right.
And some of it, they're just they make up the rules, don't tell you what the rules are, and then that allows them to keep your money, and yet they're still in debt?
I think they're in debt because when
I say they, I don't mean the IRS, I just mean America as a nation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Internal Revenue Service definitely, I feel, plays a role in that.
Right. Because they don't make the people that owe the most amount of tax pay that. You know, you get people like, what is it? The McAfee guy. What was he like? I mean, how much did he owe before he killed that guy and then went on the run and then died.
Jesus Christ. I don't know any of this.
I know.
I don't know who's McAfee.
You know McAfee antivirus?
Anti-Norton virus. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So he made a lot of money. And he didn't, he had a bunch of schemes. He got in trouble for a bunch of crypto where he was.
Yes, he did.
Yep. Stealing people's money. That's the other way to say it. Some people say crypto. Some people say scams to steal money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Not going to push back on that.
And then he went on the run on his boat.
As one does.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was caught in Brazil?
Somewhere funky.
And then he ended up killing himself before he ended up making it back to America to face any repercussions. Yeah.
So real uplifting stuff from Derek. Ben, how was your week, buddy?
Do your taxes.
Everything's been sort of ticking along. We don't have that. Like the financial year, I believe in the UK ends around the same time, but we're just a pacified nation, so we just sort of take what's given to us. So it just sort of gets taken out your paycheck.
Name of your sex
day. Okay, that's what that's what happens to me then.
Yeah.
No, my week's been good. I recently ticked over 200,000 miles on my 2004 Volvo Estate, and it's gone in. I've now got a leaky engine, so that's gone in for repair. And
what's it leaking?
This is all captivating listening. It's leaking.
I was going to say, I want to kill myself right now, but go on. Yeah.
Look, this is what's been going on in my week, okay? I have a courtesy car which is another Volvo estate, which is slightly more modern. And God, the Swedes know how to do an interior. Oh, gorgeous.
Do Swedes make
It's
Volvos?
just so symmetrical and nicely made out. Yeah, the Volvo's Swedish, yeah. The Volvo XC90, the SUV, that is Sweden's biggest export.
That makes sense. So it's like,
not-
what is it?
I
Volvo's
thought IKEA
models,
was.
chocolate. Yeah. Wait, is that?
No. The Volvo XC90, that alone, that one model of car is their biggest export.
That is awesome. That is
I know.
fantastic.
Just
That is awesome.
the transportation of the Western world's middle classes all can trace its roots back to Sweden.
Sweden.
I don't like that.
I mean, yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, it's $24 billion in vehicles, and machinery, including computers, just barely beats it out if you put them all together.
Yeah.
Wow, that is nuts.
Really cool. Really
Yeah.
cool. Look, I you asked me what's going on in my week. My week's been pretty car heavy.
So
this
for those
I got
of
an
you
oil
who've
change.
left,
Yeah.
but who stayed with us despite whatever this is, thank you.
Car Talk.
And I salute you.
Top
Salute you.
tier.
That's right. This is Car Talk. Did you know that the guys? Okay, so there's a famous show in the U.S. called Car Talk. Those dudes, their show plays every single weekend, and I didn't know this till a couple of years ago. They've been dead for 14 years, but people love their show so much they just keep playing it every
So good.
Saturday. It's apparently so good. They've been dead for over a decade. They keep playing that show. Shout out to NPR. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Derek.
I think that makes sense because I go into subreddit. I mean, I go into a lot of like advice subreddits, and it's essentially the top 10 posts. 7 of them are the same thing, and it's everybody going, you could just go check at the previously asked. It's the top post the whole time. You don't have to start a new one. Everybody, if you want to replace your gutters, that's how you do it. And I think Car Talk is kind of the same. There are only so many car problems. And you know what? After like 20 years, you got them all. And repeat
This
them.
is true.
I
This is absolutely true.
Reddit is a very strange place, and I feel like we could do a whole episode.
We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going to go to
Okay,
Reddit. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on
to our
and
first
get
topic.
To our first topic, Pearly Things. Pearly Things, yeah, or Pearly Things, yeah.
Who
as you guys
is
say.
Pearly Things to somebody?
So,
Yeah. I could either do this, Ben, Lazarus. I'm sure it would
she-
be entertaining.
Pearl
Lazarus, do you know the Pearly
Davis.
Things thing? Oh, okay, go ahead, Ben.
So Pearl Davis is a young woman. I believe she is very close in age to me. From Chicago, now lives in London. She just over a year ago started a podcast called JustPearlyThingz. She started off by doing things like showing her friends various speakers, because she's always been more conservative. So she would show speakers like Jordan Peterson and what have you to her friends who'd never seen these guys and get like their reactions and upload it to YouTube. And it got quite a lot of popularity. Now she does one of those. I would say she was one of the first in the space. She says that Fresh and Fit got there before her, and maybe they did. But she does this kind of new format of podcast where it's lots of people sat around in the same room all together, random, like just sort of members of the public. You apply to be on her show, and you just sort of turn up, and she'll try and curate a healthy proportion of people from one side of an issue and the same amount of people from the other side of the issue, and they just hit record, and it's like, okay, go. And it's ordinary people, which is a really watchable format because they're immediately relatable. Almost all her content is around relationships and dynamics between the sexes and how that has changed and whether it's good and whether it's bad and what we should do about it. Has it changed? Blah, blah, blah.
Do we have evidence it's changed?
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because she talks about like... Go on.
Yeah. I just like, sometimes we got to break things down. It's like, how have things changed?
No, you're right.
Have
you're
they?
right.
Okay, they have.
But observing, so they will observe things like how, because Pearl herself, I believe, has, I'm now need to verify this, but I think it's 9 siblings.
Okay.
She's got a big family, and
She's
so
from
she
Chicago?
comes from that.
Sounds like she's from the suburbs.
She's from the suburbs. She's from the suburbs.
So she comes from a very sort of traditional home life,
Naperville.
and she talks to that a lot, and talks about the emergence of things like hookup culture and whether that's the effects that has had, and gets just actually, to be honest, on her show, the Pre-Game, which is what her show's called, she doesn't interject so much. She is more a mediator for whoever she invites on the show, so she takes more of that role regularly. And then she has been, I say, in the news, by which I mean trending on Twitter, because she went on the Trigonometry podcast, which is one of the UK's finest.
Oh, it's not because she was on Trigonometry. No, that's not what happened.
No. Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, that was just when that was the first time where she spoke about it since. So she had Nick Fuentes on, which, as we were discussing...
Wait, who's Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes. Now, I don't know. Apparently, he's a piece of according to our own Derek Smith. What I know about him is that I can't find any of his videos online because the search engines have made those decisions for me already. I know that he's a denier. I know that he has... We're going to have to censor so much of this.
That's fine. Keep
going. He is... I know that he has views on interracial dating, but I've also heard that he's tried to qualify
is he on?
them.
Is he for it? He's actively for it or against it?
I believe that he's critical of interracial dating, but then I think he's also qualified it as he doesn't like it's cultures. He wants you to date within your own culture, not necessarily just within your own race.
So he's Basil.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's not what I said. I've never. You're a liar.
I also find it hilarious because Nick Fuentes is very young. He's not. It's not like he's not an expert. Yeah.
How old is he?
Is he like 22, 23?
No,
he's 24.
He's like 30.
Nick Fuentes is 24.
Yeah, and he's been doing this since he was 18. Or 17, 18, and he doesn't have relationships. So why?
Wait, how do you know he doesn't have relationships?
Because he says he doesn't have them. He doesn't. He's almost openly an incel, but almost proud or asexual. He doesn't.
Well, that doesn't mean. It might mean he might.
So we got a 24-year-old who doesn't talk to anybody, and he's giving out advice on who should be dating who.
How much do you think?
His hand a lot. I think. I think he is a repressed homosexual, but I don't know because
I feel like.
But wait, hang on a minute. Is he an incel? Does he choose to be celibate?
See, I mean, I hope that he's involuntarily celibate.
Nah, son. I bet you he get so much ass. Lazarus, what you think? I bet you he get ass.
Really?
I bet you get so much
Who is
ass.
Nick Fuentes? Who is this? Who's Nick Fuentes? Who is this? I don't know who's this.
Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, Lazarus. So what we're talking about? We're talking about Nick Fuentes. Yeah, he's the dude.
He's the one who went with. He went on Alex Jones with Kanye.
He hangs out with Kanye.
With Ye.
Yeah.
And he also went and met Trump at Mar-a-Lago and had a dinner with him. Big problem.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
I bet he gets a lot of.
Yeah.
Oh,
the white guy. What you think? Yeah. I think he crushes it, bro.
I'm not gonna hold y'all.
Give me your facts right now. Hit me.
I'll be honest.
Convince me.
So think about it. He has a MAGA hat. He supports Trump. He hanging with Kanye. I mean, he has the recipe to get white women. I mean, I'm just saying, he has the perfect recipe. I mean, this man probably has DMs.
How? Okay.
I just told you he's friends with Kanye and Trump. Like, he gets every white girl on the conservative campus. I'm just being honest with you. Like, if he went to Stanford, he's banging the teacher. Like, I'm just being honest with you.
It's a
You're also
wide
talking
range.
about an open racist who also hangs out with black.
Oh, he's
people.
racist?
So, I mean,
Listen,
you know,
Wait, he's
what?
racist?
Oh yeah. Oh.
But is it?
Oh no, I'm sorry. He's not racist. He just thinks white people are better than other races.
Oh, then he got every. Oh,
He also hates Jewish people.
he's
I
not
mean,
racist.
that
He's
means
not
Laz
racist.
and him are on the same
You're a
team.
bitch.
Isn't that
You're a
true,
whore.
Lazarus?
You're a whore. No.
I don't know what
Okay,
you said.
says the one who's.
I don't know.
Okay,
Why?
all right. Says the one who's a Guten Tag, right? It's
I
too
just
hard to
dated
keep
one.
up.
Just kidding. Yeah. So, okay, so you and Nick Fuentes agree on a lot. And so I just want to know from your perspective, Lazarus, as someone who agrees with Nick Fuentes on many things,
I
what
don't even know who he is.
stance? What do you think? Do you
I don't
think people
know.
should date interracially?
Yes, I do think people should be
You
allowed
don't know?
to. I said that people should be allowed to date interracially. Yes, I think they should.
Yeah, but what do you think? Do you think they should? That you think they should do that?
You're doing
What?
a bit, and I hate it. I hate it so bad.
Personally,
You're
Lazarus?
doing a bit. He's doing
I'm
a
not
bit.
doing anything.
He's doing a
I'm
bit.
just asking you a
Doing a
question.
bit. I do
Yeah.
think people should
Yeah.
date interracially.
Well, okay.
yes,
Well,
I do.
okay. Just wondering. Just curious. Yeah. No. I look the Nick Fuentes thing.
I hate
I
this man
don't
so
know
much.
about the dude. I don't know much about the dude. I know Lazarus and him have a lot in common.
I don't even know who this guy is.
But other than that,
More.
I don't know who this guy
I
is.
don't.
Like,
I had to look
But
him
then,
up. I thought
well,
he
no.
was-
Like, to be fair, I think Lazarus and I are in a similar position. We're in a similar
I thought he was
position in that
Spanish.
we
His
know
accent's
the
in
name.
English. I thought he was
I really
Spanish.
don't. Well, like the thing. So let's bring it back. Ben's going to try now and heave this back onto the original topic. So
Okay.
the reason why we are talking about Pearly things is mainly for preservation of the algorithm, because I feel like she'll be more popular than Nick Fuentes in the eyes of YouTube, and also because the sort of important thing here is that she got a lot of heat for hosting him on her podcast.
Yeah.
And that is where people are divided, which is so rare in 2023 for people to be divided over a social matter.
Okay. What? Okay. Why don't we talk through it? What are they? I feel like they do like a SMOT or like a strengths, a SWOT. What do they call it? The strengths, weaknesses.
Yes.
SWOT analysis.
Let's
SWOT
do
analysis.
SWOT analysis.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like
if there's
it.
anything I love, it's a SWOT analysis on my weekends. Go on, Derek.
Oh yeah,
Go on.
no. But we can let's apply a SWOT analysis. Okay, so what are the strengths to having Nick on your show?
It's a new opinion.
It's a new opinion.
It's a new opinion. Well, no, not new historically, but new contemporarily.
A very old opinion.
Wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in, we don't hear much about it these days.
Correct.
They don't get a lot of airtime.
Yeah. Especially in Germany. They do not get much airtime in Germany.
We don't hear a lot about
Don't
it.
get to hear any of that.
Correct. We do not hear about.
No, we don't hear a lot about it. So
Right.
So that's one strength. That's novelty. It
is novel. All right. So
yeah.
I got strengths.
What
I've
other
got
strengths
novel.
have we got? He's young and fresh. I still don't even know what the guy looks like.
What you trying to fuck him? What does that mean? Young and fresh.
So
I don't know
Ben,
what that
I
is.
don't know. Like he's pretty.
Ben, when I looked him up,
He's
I
pretty.
literally thought the guy was
No,
Spanish.
that was
White.
not a finished sentence. Then Lazarus started talking, so I was being courteous.
Oh.
Fuck you. Yes, we will need to censor that. No,
He is
I
pretty.
don't. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, go
No,
on.
he's
go
not.
on,
He's,
Lazarus,
I think he's white. I don't know. But when I looked him up, I thought he was Spanish. Like, Nick Fuentes, is he white? Is it Spanish dude? But no, you look him up, he's
I
white.
know. I
A
thought
white
the
dude.
same thing.
He's a white dude.
Well,
I was like, oh.
According to the internet, he describes himself as being of Mexican descent.
Right. I would, if you had asked him
Wait, how
out
would you
loud, I
wait?
think he would say he's just a regular white guy. It's just he. I think he describes himself more as Christian or Catholic.
So Derek, is he
Catholic.
actually racist? Derek, is he actually racist? I mean, how is he racist? He's Mexican.
1,000% yes.
Really?
Well, think of it this way,
I mean-
Lazarus.
Oh yeah.
Lazarus, here's an example. Okay, so here's what kind of made me go, because like I'm like Ben, I'm like you really skeptical, because like I have friends who get like called like racist or sexist, and then you talk to them and like hear them out, and you're like, wait, that's actually no, it's actually you're nuanced. And I've done a little bit of digging on Mr. Fuentes,
Okay.
and it doesn't look good, buddy.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't
No.
look good.
Yeah, the whole like it's nuanced. He's not. He is not
like
nuanced.
So he's like an actual racist, like a blatantly like he's like.
Well, let
wow.
me give you an example. Okay, so on the Pearly Things podcast, the podcast is ending, and Nick is like one of the person who's helping Pearl run the podcast says to Nick, she was like, I don't really support anything you say, bro. And she says like, hey, Italians, we don't claim you, although he is of Mexican descent, so I'm not really sure what direction that was coming from. Maybe he said he was Italian on the broadcast, which would be weird and raises many questions. That aside, she says the Italians don't claim you, and she's like, well, Italians don't claim you. You date a black guy, which was a kind of an odd, yeah. When I saw that, I was like,
right,
so, yeah, that's a rough one, brother.
He's
like,
also
a rough one.
He's also
wow.
had videos where he explains out that if you're going to trying to red pill somebody into being a far right extremist, that you need to hold back your real feelings and give them, so things like claiming, oh, I'm Mexican, or I'm of Mexican descent, so I can't be. But in reality, he really does want a white Christian nation in America.
Can we please interview this guy?
wants.
I would love to. Can we just interview this guy? I would love to.
I actually kind of
Do not do it. You are not ready for it.
I really want to.
6 years of trying to jam this through people.
No,
He
no,
does it
Derek.
all the time.
No, Derek. But the reason why I would say I would love to, because like when me and Baz would be on the gauntlet, like we would have people like this always. It would just destroy them. Like it's a fun thing for us. It really is.
we would talk.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just saying, this guy has been doing it almost exclusively for 6 years. I mean, he talked this into becoming friends with Kanye.
Let's
and
put
Trump.
it this way.
But that point there, though, point there of he's now best friends with or very close to Kanye.
Well, he's using him, yeah.
So you think he's using him? Okay,
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's
remember, Ye had to separate from him once he found out like a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, because he found out he was racist and he didn't just hate Jews. That was the separation. It was like, wait, you hate black people?
We've all been there. We've all been there. Like,
well, yeah,
I was cool with the Jew thing, but black people, yeah, no, right. I've been there.
Just checking in, fellas.
Yeah.
Can we use any of this?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, there's going to be a lot of censorship. Ben, I'm going to trust you with the first edit, and then we'll hand it off to Tyler to take off the rest.
Okay.
No, but in all seriousness, look, Ben Shapiro doesn't screw with this guy, and Ben is pretty right.
Wait, really?
Like, Ben Shapiro does not.
Well, I mean, but he's also, from what I've gathered on this podcast thus far, it's rather easy to deduce why a certain Ben Shapiro would not associate with a certain Nick Fuentes, because Ben Shapiro is quite the Jew,
Tiny
and
hat.
so it doesn't sound like those two would really get on. In fact, I have heard Ben Shapiro in some Q&As on YouTube sort of, disavow any link to Nick Fuentes and the idea that they're aligned because they're both right of center.
Right.
I've heard him say that before.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I guess
No.
the only
This is what
the
makes
only thing that I want to put forward on this topic is the notion that the sort of thing that I want to throw out to the floor is I don't like the idea of people telling me or making my decisions for me.
Sure.
I don't think it's right that Pearl is being raked over the coals for hosting the guy. I do want to hear it. For example, I'm disappointed that the episode's been taken down because there's all this commentary about it and I can't watch the episode. So I can't get my own context from what all the commentary is about. It's very similar to when, and this is a trend happening a lot in the comedy world at the moment, particularly on the UK comedy circuit, when there's a pile-on, comedians will leap to the person who's being piled on's defense.
I know it. Boy, have I.
But they will then say, we're not going to tell you their name because we don't want to oxygenate the flame. Okay. And it's just like, well, then I want all the information. Give me all the information. Let me know who this Nick Fuentes guy is. Let me know what he says about stuff. I want to hear it come out of his mouth. I don't want to hear third, fourth, fifth parties telling me that he's a denier. I have enough evidence now to pretty much that seems like a
But
perfectly
he's a
valid
Holocaust
claim.
denier?
Right.
But I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
lot.
I want to hear it from
wow.
him. I want to hear what he has to say. I reject this
I'm with
notion
you.
that it's the sort of, there's a lot of talk on the contagion aspect of it, right? Is the idea that, well, if he is allowed to express his views, other people will hear them and then they might take them on.
Argument.
Yeah.
And but then that they should be allowed to take them on, and then I can then
Know who your enemy
converse with them as well, and give my opposing view,
right?
that I think that the Holocaust did happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yours is not going to be as. It's just not going to take off the way but it's wrong ideas just take off because they feel cool, like they feel new, and this is something special. But
you
in
heard
reality,
it here first, Derek.
Yeah.
Derek Smith says anti-Semitism is cool. So
No,
go
no.
on.
Anti-Semitism.
It's
it
the theme of
always-
Milan
cool.
Fashion Week, I heard. Yeah.
It's crazy. Everybody thinks, well,
Big in Europe.
Jewish people are stealing all the jobs. It's all of these people that I feel like don't have much power. It's like
Also,
they're
why-
taking jobs and money away from you. Really?
Can I
Because
ask-
it seems
can I
like
ask
the
a question?
people with the money and the jobs are the
Well,
rich
well,
white
Baz,
people.
Baz,
Those are
you
the
know what I
people
find
that have all that.
Yeah, go on, buddy. Go on, buddy.
You know what I find interesting with this Nick Fuentes guy is that even
Yeah.
white people hate him. That's how you know he's bad. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
kinda
not always
funny,
true.
man.
But here's the thing. That's not always true.
The right
Yeah.
hates him because he weaponizes against them too.
Up. Yeah.
He
Everything
leads a
else.
group called the Groypers, which they show up and they just terrorize TerrorPoint USA. I mean, I'm sorry,
Turning Point.
USA. TerrorPoint USA.
I would
Toilet
love to
paper
see
USA.
him and what's his name go at it. I can't remember his name. The guy who founded Turning Point USA. Them two, what are we hilarious?
Charlie Kirk. Oh,
Yeah.
they
Amazing.
destroy him, and it's very funny. But at the same time, it's like watching two. It's like Freddy versus Jason. You're just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't cheer for anyone. No, I actually don't have a problem with Kirk. He's got some extreme views, but anyways, the point is this.
How small his facial features are to his head are. It's an extreme.
That's very
view.
funny. That
He has a
is so
very
funny.
weird face.
It's also very true. That is very.
very
I actually quite enjoy listening to Charlie Kirk.
If
but that is true.
Oh,
If so, okay. So here's two things. One, look, I'm with you, Ben. I think people should be able to tell their ideas. There's a famous case a long time ago in the U.S. where the Ku Klux Klan actually won this case.
Really?
Where they weren't allowed to broadcast to a certain radio station, and their station was said like, no, we're not going to broadcast your nonsense. But then they won the case, and so the radio station said, okay, we'll broadcast you, but they broadcast them at like 2:30 in the morning. Like they looked at their metrics and they were like, is no one listening?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put you on. So there's ways to like deal with people that you don't agree with. Also, to the second matter that Ben sort of brings up,
You just described censoring them by only broadcasting them when no one is listening.
But the thing is they've done it in a legal manner. You know what I mean? They've not necessarily suppressed their freedom of speech. It's just they found a loophole. Additionally, I would say I'm like Ben. I like to hear what people say. I don't really like it when people control what I can or cannot hear, because it's hard to make a determination, and a fair determination, unless I have access to as much information as possible. And that's, I think, also a fair and legitimate point, because that makes things. Because we're in an era where people don't trust the news.
Yeah,
like
because people keep lying about the news.
But that's neither.
Well, no, the news keep lying.
Oh well,
the news.
Look, hang on. The premise. Let's accept the premise is true. Does that matter if people do not have faith in authority?
I mean,
I agree with Baz on that one.
The opportunity.
Okay, well, here's the conundrum I think you're setting up, which is you're saying when nobody trusts the news but also anybody can lie about the news, and we have to promote their lies.
That's not what I said.
So
that's what I said.
What I'm saying, if you're going to let everybody speak and people get to lie, then the news can't go after people that lie about them. But that lying,
No, but they can lie
destroy
about the
trust
news.
Well, no, they can go after. The trouble is, one of the things that I've got is we live in this time where you are just supposed to accept what is good and what is bad with no justification. If you aren't exposed to the opposing idea, you actually have no grounds for knowing what you believe is good or true or anything like that. Like, take something as egregious as the Holocaust.
Yeah.
You need to know why that's bad. Just being told it's bad isn't good enough. And you need to be told the lead up as to why that happened and everything that went into it, and why the people who purported it thought it was a good idea. And the thing is, that's actually off topic from the whole Nick Fuentes thing, because I want to know. I would want to ask the guy, well, because I can't.
Why did you Holocaust?
Why do you deny it? Wait, you say again?
They say, why did you Holocaust? Why?
It's also interesting to me that if he really doesn't like Jewish people, that he would want to deny it. Like, surely he'd be quite aroused by the idea of it, in my mind. But
I think he finds it a point of weakness that, because he is fascist, and because the fascists did a Holocaust, he's like, hey, it wasn't that bad. He also says that bad.
Please tell me you're lying, Derek.
Please
tell me you're lying, Derek.
So wrong.
Here's the thing.
Everything you think an evil white person would do, Nick Fuentes is doing.
Here's the thing. Here's
straightforward.
Here's my issue. Why? And I wonder what your guys' take on this. Isn't hating Jews kind of boring at this point? Like,
isn't hating? I mean, that's like someone saying, isn't hating white people kind of boring at this moment? I mean, to be fair, I find
that boring too. I find that boring.
Or isn't hating black people or hating Muslims?
No,
it's not going out of style. Everybody, you're just going around the carousel.
I don't get hate. So look, I don't get hating Jews. They're not like, but black people, I totally get it, right? Like, it's like, hey, they can dance because they can dance. They can play basketball really well.
I love how Ben's just
they're very funny, right? If you ever been to church in Atlanta on a Sunday, my God,
I don't go to church.
Yeah, but
Derek, I'm gonna take you to a black church. You'll love it. You'll love it, Ben. You'll love it, Derek.
That would be amazing.
You'll love it.
I feel like if we come in, I want you behind me pushing me in, and like good. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Wait, Derek? Are you going to be leaning into Laz like you don't want to go?
Right.
Is this how it's going to be?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Like, you're pushing back against him while he's heaving you into the church.
Get in there.
I mean, Ben, you'll be there too. Ben, you got to be there too, because they're gonna be confused. They're like, is his mom white, dad black? What's going on here? I promise you, people gonna think you're black, Ben. I promise you, they are. They really are. They're gonna think you're biracial.
Look, do you know what? And I've said this before on this podcast. It's weird. It doesn't quite make sense in my own head why I take that as such a compliment. Like, I don't know why.
Really good.
But I really genuinely.
I used to do this bit, Ben. I used to do this bit where I would call like a white dude in the audience. I would call him the N-word, and I would pretend like it was on accident, and I'd immediately apologize. But every single time, beaming. They were smiling. They were just like, and I was like, I'm so sorry I called you the N-word. And they'd be like, no, it's fine. It's great. It's fine. It's fine. And like the energy they gave was like, you could call me it again if you wanted to.
Yeah.
No. That was what they would have said. The energy they were giving you was, call me it again.
Yes.
Please call me it again. Call me it again right now.
I want that. It feels so good. Yeah, no.
We don't, that's one thing that white people don't have. We don't have this word that is steeped in history that has been reclaimed so emphatically.
Yes, you do.
Is now turned into like,
yes,
go
you do.
What is it, Lazarus?
Yes, though. Cracker.
Come on.
Literally, the word cracker used to mean like it was like they changed the word in the dictionary.
Yeah, but that's not like no, it's not cool. It's not cool. You don't go to a barbecue with flavorless chicken and somebody goes, "You want another one, my cracker?" That doesn't work. That doesn't have legs.
Yeah. We could arrange that. We could arrange that. We can make that
I
happen.
mean,
No.
you can make it a thing. What up, my cracker? Like, you can make it a thing.
I mean, look, man, I've been trying to find the white equivalent of the N-word for a long time. It's the sword in the
Caucasian.
stone. I'll never
Maybe
find it. But the thing is, it's like,
Billionaire. That's the one. That's the one.
is that an insult? Is that an insult?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Is that an insult? I don't think
Depending
that's
on how it's used, you know,
How-
who uses it.
Well,
Other
the thing is,
billionaires, they call each other billionaires, not a problem. But if I call somebody a billionaire, with
No,
some
Derek,
stink
hold on,
it,
Derek.
then
Derek,
yeah,
I
no.
love that you said that, Derek, because that's what happened to Bernie. I think it was Bernie Sanders, or he's in front of he's in front of somebody. And they confirmed, like, Bernie, you made millions of dollars, and your whole stick is like, I'm against capitalism, but you yourself have made. He's like, no, I haven't. Your
He
book
didn't make
is literally
billions. He
what
didn't
do you
make
call it?
billions.
No, it's millions. Off his book.
And by the way, he makes millions. And also, yes, he admitted to it. So that's
Oh, he
not,
finally did?
this
Oh,
is
perfect.
totally incorrect.
Oh,
He never finally did. He always has.
I'm just
I
saying,
follow
I've seen the video.
poor
I've
Bernie
seen the
quite a
video.
lot. There's many things you can criticize Bernie Sanders on. That one isn't in it. So okay, so like here's the thing. We all agree it doesn't make sense to make fun of Jews or be racist to them. Black people make way more sense. They make great music. Get mad at them. It's fun for me personally as a racist connoisseur.
Bernie Sanders' net worth is what?
$3 million, probably.
$3 million.
Yeah.
And he was born at the
think,
beginning of time.
Yeah,
I think
if he didn't have 3 million,
I think that is Pearly Things and Nick Fuentes well and truly put to bed.
Right.
Wait, we didn't do the weaknesses of having Nick on your show. It's exposing people to bad ideas.
Okay, yeah.
No,
so
okay.
weaknesses.
No.
Okay.
Here's what I think. We always say we want an exchange of ideas, but sometimes, you know, you'll come with an idea and you'll be like, cryptocurrency is a new way to decentralize money, and that's a great idea. And somebody will come back and be like, the Jews are ruining your life. And you're like, these are not equal trades. One is new information, the other one is old. You just picked up dog
or old information. Really?
And then some people are like, I can't tell the difference between these things. I guess the Jewish people are the problem. And then they're going to trade that idea with somebody else. Somebody's going to say, like, eat apples for your health. And they're going to be like, Jewish people are killing your children. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Look, shout out to the Jewish family that took me in my teens. Melka, shout out to you. Holla to Israel. She can't.
Can we get them on the phone? I would like to ask them about.
I could call them. I could actually call Malka right now. Let's see. Actually, if we want to, if you guys want to,
I would love to hear what they think about Nick Fuentes. Oh man, because that's the other thing is Nick Fuentes is nobody. Like, Ben, have you heard of Nick Fuentes before this?
No,
I had. But only out of the mouths of other people. Like I've never watched the man say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
If that makes any sense at all. Like I've only ever heard people speak of him, and it's sort of just been clip notes, really.
Was it good or bad?
It was all bad.
Oh yeah,
it was all bad.
All right.
It was all bad from everybody, and now. We've gone over it a million times. I'm not going to say it again. God, this is going to be brutally edited.
But I think, I don't know. I want to. Okay, I liked the idea that you're talking about with Pearly Thing's show. Is she brings on people and then they get to debate something, or they essentially get to talk about it. But I have watched some of these shows where, you know, you have like people from NASA and astronomers, and then you have people who deny the moon landing, and they are given equal weight, like they are on opposite sides. When I don't see them as being equal, and is that what?
No, I do. I hear what you're saying, and I actually, to a large extent, don't disagree. The thing that I think where I land with it is, I do believe that the answer is always more speech.
Right.
So the answer isn't to cut somebody off. The answer is to sort of add more to it. So if you've got your NASA guy versus some guy living out of a trailer who just denies that the moon landings take place, I want to hear what he has to say as well, even though I'm probably going to disagree from the outset. Okay. Like for me, I think Derek and you and I have definitely spoken about this before, is with anyone with a kind of quack conspiracy, or not even a conspiracy, unconventional view. Like I had it on Twitter the other day where I just asked, there's a lot of photos on my feed of being shared of trails.
Okay.
And welcome to Raisin Bread, the podcast of tangents.
Right.
And I'm looking at all these photos of trails, and it's all these guys going, yeah, look at them spraying us like bugs. And I asked on Twitter, I'm going to see if I can find it. I just asked, what is the question I have regarding trails? What are the quote unquote overlords? And look, bearing in mind, I am certainly someone who thinks there is an elite class who hate us and are very contemptuous of us.
Yeah,
I do believe that. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, what are they doing to protect? Right. And like the people who meet at Davos and the people who fly in private jets to tell us that we should use paper straws. Yeah. And it's just like the whole hypocrisy of it is despicable. But anyway, so like I do believe that there is this band of people who sit above us. And so I'm there going like, what are the overlords doing to protect themselves from the same atmosphere that they're supposedly poisoning?
All right. Hang on just a second. All right. Malka, how do you feel about Nick Fuentes?
Oh, it's very, very quiet.
Way louder. You're going to have to say it way louder. Oh, you're on a date?
Oh,
I did not hear that. Well, I hope your date goes well. And also,
is it Nick Fuentes?
Are you on a date with Nick Fuentes? Do you know
No, definitely not. He would not. I don't think he would date somebody that's Jewish.
Wait, why did you pick up the phone if you weren't on a date? Okay, we're going to talk about this later. All right, bye, Michelle. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
So, not a fan of Nick Fuentes. There you go.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Serious.
And Basil, I sent you the video in the app, mother.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. That should be really useful right now in the middle of recording. All right. So next. Sorry, that was the backhand of backhands.
Laz. Normally, I'd be with you, but I think
I've seen this one. This was good. I like this one.
Speaking of dates and sucking, who's been sucking around the news recently, fellas? Has anyone been paying attention?
Is it the Dalai Lama?
Oh yeah,
well done, Benjamin.
Dalai Lama.
10 points for Gryffindor.
What did he do?
Or
what happened?
Lazarus.
Where was he? First of all, what was he at?
I don't have the exact details. Lazarus, I know you do, don't you? Okay, right. Lazarus. All right. So, okay. So the Dalai Lama. Somebody look this up, or we move on to the next thing. Jonathan Majors. Let's just move on to Jonathan Majors. Lazarus, are you still there? Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I just read Tibetan leader says Dalai Lama's suck my tongue comment to a boy was innocent because the holy leader is beyond sensorial pleasure. All right. Why? That is... I wish he had come out and said he is a huge fan of Face Off. And they were just doing that because that is a line from that movie too. Suck my tongue. That's so crazy.
Maybe he's a big fan of the movie Face Off. Yeah. Who knows? Lazarus, Jonathan Majors, what's up?
No, Jonathan is an interesting guy. I mean, he's an actor. He recently got what's the word I'm looking for? He got arrested for. Did he slap his girlfriend? I don't know what he did. I think he choked her. I don't remember what it was exactly. But basically, long story short, he got arrested and supposedly, allegedly, supposed to be fake. I guess there's been text messages that were leaked regarding it, and she's saying, "Yeah, no, it wasn't. I told them it wasn't you, but they didn't. They still arrested you. It's a bunch." So, but it's weird to me that that was a big thing for like maybe what, a week or two, maybe three, maybe, and it just
Yeah,
completely
it
died
disappeared
down.
after you released the text.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
just find
yeah,
it to be
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah,
interesting for me.
yeah.
That's all.
What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Everyone
What?
was going. I mean,
So
oh, they told me. So they're coming. I'm confused.
Talking to you, Les.
Ah, what's interesting is that we're talking
Sorry, I
about
should say people's names.
you mentioned interracial dating with Nick Fuentes, which I find interesting because it kind of ties it together. You know, the black community was kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, this is why you don't date a white woman, or this is why you don't date outside your race, basically. And so I find it. I don't know. I find it kind of interesting. It's like I feel like this could happen with really anyone. And I guarantee, I would argue if we look at cases of domestic violence, and I don't think anyone should go through that. I would find it interesting. You might find it's kind of equal, maybe. Maybe you find the cases with domestic violence between black people and interracial people. It might be the same. I mean, I don't know. I think it may be the same, maybe not. Maybe I can find data on it, but I find it interesting how we only talk about it when it's, at least in terms of black folks, when it's everyone's black and white, never black and black. So for me, I find it to be interesting. That's it.
I think I think you're right. I think that white guys don't get called out for being abusive, because they're the cops. A lot of the times. I mean, just going by the statistics, police officers have a high amount of domestic violence against them because I think they're brutal a lot of the times. I do think that there's an overemphasis on any time that there's a black man and it's supposedly causing domestic violence against a white woman. Yeah, I think that gets way blown out of proportion. But also, domestic violence.
I like to be clear. I agree. Domestic violence, in your incredible wordsmith way, super bad.
It is so bad.
What? Who is this man? Is he an athlete?
Glad we're all on the same.
He was
page.
Kang in the Ant-Man movie. He was also lead in what is it, it's that really weird writer. It was a show on HBO.
He's on Creed 3.
Creed.
Oh,
3.
so it's on Creed 3. So he's in a boxing movie. So we can deduce from that he is a big guy in probably phenomenal shape.
Oh yeah, no, he is. Lovecraft Country. He was also in that. Yeah.
That seems to be like on the subject of which stories make the limelight. That seems to be a trend as well. Is when it is quite clearly kind of a very physically powerful man, it makes it much easier to cast. The whole villain victim dynamic is nice and obvious for print, so that you can, the idea of somebody of his physique and size,
here's a picture of him
hitting
so
somebody. Okay, so he's jacked. Yeah, he's jacked to the hilt. Yeah, he's an absolute unit. Right. Okay. And yeah, so the idea, exactly. So you look at that and the idea of him hitting somebody, it's very clear that or it's very unlikely that that's self-defense, because it doesn't look like he would need it, because look at the size of him. And he's been doing a substantial amount of boxing training for the movie.
Right. But isn't all this alleged? Like, didn't someone say this is all, like, we don't actually know what happened? Like, I don't know.
Right. Did anything happen? I'm not even getting much news about it when I'm trying to search for it.
Well, because he released the text.
What does it mean? What does it mean to be charged with something?
I think you're arrested, or that being charged with it is before an indictment. Charged.
So it's still alleged when he's been charged.
Yes. Yes.
So charged comes before convicted.
Yeah, it just means accused of committing a crime, whereas being indicted means a grand jury has found evidence to formally charge them with that said crime.
Well, I think I mean, it's something that I find interesting, because now it's like, I know Baz and me are both Marvel fans and DC fans, and just nerds in general. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting because this will mess up everything. I mean, everything, literally everything. Disney's in trouble. So, but at the same time, it makes you think. Like, I don't think they'll get rid of him just because of DC never got rid of Ezra Miller. But I mean,
Yeah, no shit.
They never got rid of him. But I think contractually, there's something going on there. I don't know. And you should see the before and after pictures of Jonathan Majors. Like, the dude was mad skinny. Now he's just like, ding, like, I don't know. Looked like Ben before he worked out.
So it could well be roid rage then.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe. We like if you're taking that level of stuff, which if you're saying that he used to be skinny and now he's this size, so there's clearly been some chemical involvement, which certainly will mess with one's head. I don't know. I'm not exonerating the guy of everything, just to be clear, because you have to be. I think if he has in fact done it, I think that's pretty despicable. If he hasn't, I think it's equally despicable because a lie being peddled like that is pretty bad too. But I don't know. Let's wait and see what the legal system churns out.
Right.
I
like that we've changed it now from the justice system to the legal system, since it's not really justice. We're only dealing with legal.
Yeah. That's a really good observation, and I think that is entirely well founded. I wasn't even aware that I was substituting the word justice for the word legal. You are absolutely right, because it's not. It's so often not justice. It's just what the law kind of maybe has been gerrymandered to say, and so we're going to go with that.
We got the law and we got justice, and someday, hopefully, we can bring.
And look, from my point of view, if this is something that leads to the final death of the MCU, bring it on.
No, what do you mean? Bring it on?
Let it end. We passed the crest a long time ago.
You hate jobs.
It has been declining ever since. So let's just let it die. Bring in the new. We need new writing. Stop vamping old literature and old material. For the love of God, film industry, write some new stuff.
It's real risky.
I will say maybe we should.
How are we going to get people to show up?
I will say we should ask the Brits, but
also hard
stuff is interesting. I think the only good art the Brits have is when they do history, like Napoleon. Even though you guys aren't doing it. No, actually, we're the Scots doing it. So yeah.
Are you gonna take that? Are you gonna take that, Ben?
Just
called you up.
Well, I heard there's a very good comedian who I performed with once called Horatio Gould, who has a great bit about Napoleon, where he says like he feels like it's really unfair that Napoleon is only really remembered through the guise of a Napoleon complex, which is just a guy who's angry about being short, where his point is Napoleon did quite a lot more than just be short. He damn near conquered Europe, then got exiled to an island, found his way back, and did it again. And yet like... But yeah, shout out to Horatio and the Boys Gone Wild podcast. Great show. But Horatio and I can't remember your co-host name. I think it's Andrew who hosts the Boys Gone Wild podcast. Great show. But they like that. It's so true. It's so true. Like he did a lot more than just be angry and short, and yet all we do is remember him through the vessel of the Napoleon complex.
Right.
I don't get why he got exiled.
Was he even that short?
I don't know. I don't think right? Like. But then, like, wasn't Jesus like 4'6"?
But it's different
because that was how tall people were then.
There's different though. That's Jesus.
It's different.
It's different. It's Jesus, man. That's Jesus.
It is different. Jesus.
He chose to be that.
Well, no, but like as in Jesus. No, the point being, Jesus was average height in his day.
Jesus was 5'5". Let's not do that to Jesus.
Was he?
Yes, he was not 4'6", according to scientific thought.
Right, so he's 5'5". Yeah. So that to me sounds quite tall.
Napoleon was 5'2".
Napoleon 5'6".
No, Napoleon was.
It says 5'2".
Napoleon was 5'6". That's like
where?
That's what the average Korean.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
Not
no,
asking. I'm genuinely asking.
Napoleon height 1 point. What the
I
God
see
damn it?
I
It's
see
in
5'2", then I see
Uh,
5'5". I'm like, huh?
5'6".
Yeah.
He was 5'6". So you know what that means.
5'6"?
Suck
Oh,
it,
wow.
Jesus. Right? Like, yeah.
I don't think he said that to
So,
Jesus. I don't think he said that to
you-
Jesus.
pardon me?
I don't think he said that to Jesus, Basil. I don't think he said that to Jesus.
I don't think he said that to Jesus either, but I did.
I think he's
So-
pretty angry. He would say that to Jesus. He would probably kill Jesus.
He seemed to said a lot about a lot. Yeah,
Jesus
I agree.
doesn't carry a sword, you know.
True.
I'm done with you.
Or
Jesus.
a
I'm
Napoleon
good.
complex. Yeah.
Is this why
or
when we go to church, do I get to say this kind of stuff?
I think we've got it. Yep, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thanks for joining us, you guys. This has been another Raisin Bread podcast. We're going to somehow make a show out of this. Do me a big favor. Click on the little links, little boxes around me. Like, subscribe, share, please. Share to your friends. Check us out on Spotify, and we'll see you again soon.